Carlos Ghosn's perspective on the auto industry has become a focal point of debate and analysis, particularly in light of the dramatic events surrounding his ousting and subsequent legal battles. Ghosn, who led the Renault-Nissan-Mitsubishi alliance to unprecedented success, was accused of financial misconduct by Japanese authorities, charges he vehemently denies. His downfall, widely viewed as a result of political maneuvering and corporate intrigue, underscores broader issues of protectionism, racial bias, and leadership struggles in the global auto industry. Betrayal and the role of French and Japanese leadership. Ghosn's arrest in Japan and the French government's lack of support highlight a troubling narrative of betrayal. As the architect of the Renault-Nissan alliance, Ghosn transformed struggling companies into a global powerhouse. However, his efforts to further integrate the alliance were met with resistance from Japanese executives and government officials, who feared losing control of Nissan to Renault. Ghosn's arrest on charges of underreporting income and misusing company funds was seen by many as a pretext to remove him from power. This case exemplifies the challenges of cross-cultural corporate leadership. Japanese authorities, allegedly driven by nationalist sentiments and a desire to protect domestic interests, acted to dismantle the alliance's trajectory under Ghosn. The French government, despite its stake in Renault, failed to intervene effectively, leaving Ghosn to fend for himself. This failure not only betrayed Ghosn personally, but also undermined the alliance's potential to compete in a rapidly evolving industry. Tariffs and sanctions, tools of short-term gain, long-term pain. The use of tariffs and sanctions as economic tools reflects a broader pattern of short-sighted policymaking. These measures are often employed to shield domestic industries from competition, but history has shown they tend to backfire. For instance, the U.S. imposed tariffs on steel and aluminum imports under the guise of national security, only to see higher costs ripple through its manufacturing sectors, ultimately harming domestic businesses. In Ghosn's case, the protectionist tendencies of Japanese leadership mirrored these broader economic strategies. By targeting Ghosn, Japanese executives sought to shield their industry from foreign influence. Yet, this approach risks stifling innovation and collaboration, as evidenced by Nissan's subsequent struggles in the global market. Turning sanctions into opportunity. Lessons from resilience. While sanctions and protectionism often fail their intended purpose, they can inadvertently drive innovation and self-reliance in targeted countries. For example, Russia's response to Western sanctions following the annexation of Crimea saw a significant boost in domestic agriculture and manufacturing. Similarly, Iran's isolation led to advancements in its defense and technology sectors. Turkey offers another compelling example. Over the past decade, sanctions and restrictions from Western nations pushed Turkey to develop its domestic defense industry. Once 80% dependent on foreign imports, Turkey has reduced this dependency to just 20%, achieving remarkable growth in indigenous production. Companies like Baykar, known for its advanced drones, have become global leaders, showcasing how adversity can drive innovation and self-sufficiency. This dynamic can be observed in the auto industry as well. China, facing trade restrictions and criticism from Western nations, has accelerated its development of electric vehicles, EVs. Companies like BYD and NIO have emerged as global leaders, challenging traditional automakers in Europe and the US. This mirrors the response of countries targeted by sanctions, where adversity becomes a catalyst for growth. Historical parallels. Nokia versus Motorola. The interplay of protectionism and competition is not new. In the telecommunications sector, the US famously undermined Europe's GSM technology, championed by Nokia, in favor of Motorola's CDMA. Motorola's lobbying efforts ensured government backing, but this short-term victory came at the cost of long-term competitiveness. Nokia's GSM standard eventually became the global benchmark, while Motorola's influence waned. A similar scenario is unfolding in the EV industry. Western nations, wary of China's rapid advancements, are implementing policies to curb its influence. Yet, these measures risk repeating the mistakes of the past, where attempts to stifle competition only strengthen the resolve and innovation of the targeted industry. Conclusion. Carlos Ghosn's experience serves as a microcosm of the challenges facing global industries in an era of protectionism and geopolitical rivalry. His betrayal by French and Japanese leadership underscores the dangers of nationalism and short-term thinking. Meanwhile, the broader trends of tariffs, sanctions, and corporate lobbying reveal the unintended consequences of such strategies. Whether in the auto industry or beyond, history demonstrates that adversity often breeds resilience, and those who embrace competition and innovation are ultimately the ones who thrive.